Hi, my name is Zuhair Jardak. You're welcome to watch these short videos about simple explanation of Hebrews chapter 9. We're up to the third part of Hebrews chapter 9 from verse 16. We asked a question in the last video. Was it important that the mediator, Jesus Christ, would die to complete salvation? In verse 16 it says, "For where there is a testament or a will, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator. The will has no power if the testator is still alive. For a testament is in force after men are dead, since it has no power at all while the testator lives." In verse 18, "Therefore not even the first covenant was dedicated without blood." Even the first covenant, according to the old system we just read about, it wasn't dedicated without the blood, but there it was blood of animals. But there is death. It says also in verse 19, "For when Moses had spoken every precept to all the people according to the law, he took the blood of calves and goats with water, scarlet, wool, and hyssop, and sprinkled both the book itself and all the people, saying, 'This is the blood of the covenant which God has commanded you.'" So Moses showed the people the importance of the blood, that to be sprinkled, and only animal blood here, because they don't have sin. It's only a shadow. Remember, the Old Testament is a shadow of the New Testament. Verse 21, "Then likewise the sprinkled with blood both the tabernacle and all the vessels of the ministry." He sprinkled all. "And according to the law, almost all things are purged with blood, and without shedding of blood there is no remission." Only the blood, because the soul sinned, and the only way is the judgment, because by one sin there's death. That's why bloodshed means death of that soul. Now, we can see now it is important that the mediator must die. Now, we know Jesus Christ died on the cross, carrying our sins in his pure, holy body. But we want to ask, how much Christ's sacrifice is greater than what we saw in the shadow before? In verse 23, "Therefore it was necessary that the copies of the things in the heavens should be purified with these, but the heavenly things themselves with better sacrifices than these." Because the tabernacle on earth, it was just a copy, so it can be purified by the blood of animals. But the heavenly tabernacle cannot be in it. No animal blood cannot be accepted. In verse 24, "For Christ has not entered the holy places made with hands, which are the copies of the true, but into heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of God for us." So Jesus entered into heaven itself, sat at the right hand of the Father. And verse 25, "Not that he should offer himself often." It didn't have to die again and again and again, of course. As the high priest enters the most holy place, used to do that every year with the blood of animals. 26. He then would have had to suffer often since the foundation of the world. But now, once at the end of the ages, and the end of the ages is when Jesus completed the work on the cross, and he said, it's all finished. He has appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself, once and for all. In verse 27, and as it is appointed for man to die once, but after this the judgment. That's the normal thing. Man died, and after that judgment. That's how it is. Verse 28, so Christ was offered once to bear the sins of many. He didn't say the whole world, of many. Only people who he anticipated they're gonna accept, who he actually seen as God, that they're gonna accept him. To those who eagerly wait for him, now the real believers who are waiting for him to come, he will appear a second time apart from sin, without our sins, for salvation. So he will come back again without our sins carried on him. He'll come with power, and we will receive our salvation from him then. So as we can see, God has a plan for every human being to be saved and to avoid judgment. Jesus said, I will not judge, but my word judges people who refuse this grace of God, this gift of God. And this is God talking, not a religious leader who is just a human. And remember in Jeremiah chapter 17, there's a curse on people who depend or rely on humans. That's why millions of people, because they rely on leaders, they don't get saved because they don't know the right way. You can't even tell. God is holy, holy, holy. The angels, all billions of angels, 24 hours if there is time there, they just repeat, holy, holy, holy. You know, heaven and earth are full of your glory. This is the God. If we want to make God, if we want to make God like according to what we think, that's not God. That's nothing. If we want to make God, a picture of God in our mind, that's not God. That's some of this imaginary thing we think of. People believe, some people believe like, my God is me. I believe I am God. I can be God. My brain is my God. My will is my God. And some people believe like a shrine is a God. People believe a statue is a God. People believe Satan is God himself. And people believe wealth is God. You know, people have different opinions, you know. It's all clumsy, but there's a clear way in the Bible. It's God, the Bible, and you. Or God, the Bible, and me. At the end of the day, I am responsible as a human being because I know there's judgment. And I know I'm a sinner. Every human being is a sinner. Even if you don't sin, your flesh is a sinning flesh. And we needed God to do something about it. And we know God is love. So did he ignore our salvation? He loved all the people. He respects all the people. That's why he is God. And he completed the work on the cross. That's the way he wanted. according to all the prophets. The Bible from the first page to the last page talking about God's salvation plan to us. Thank you.